Hey guys, Tom and Steve here. This week at SecureIt, we're going to talk about the TrueSafe that launched this month. I want to talk a little about RFID. It's a technology coming into consumer gun safes. It's problematic. And then we've got some things going on at the military we can talk about. Big Marine Corps opportunity project we're working on. And
be a good time to go over the Agile line too and some of the modularity.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk of modularity in gun safes, and we actually have made the Agile line very modular. So first thing, right behind us we have the TrueSafe. This is our answer to, what is a true fire-rated safe. You guys all know I've been very critical of the gun safe industry, taking 11 gauge metal box, throw a bunch of drywall and carpeting in it and say it's fire-rated. I say that's BS. We posted it's a brief, short, but really detailed video going into fire ratings and why it's so flawed. If you go on our YouTube channel, you'll see, I think it's big red, it says WTF gun safe fire ratings, but the TrueSafe is the answer. You were part of the original build on this, I think.
Yeah, and it is a heavy beast.
All right, guys, we've moved the table out of the way. Let's take a little more in-depth look at the safe. This is, again, double-walled steel filled with concrete composite. You've got reinforced welded steel framing, sheet steel inside and outside, 4 inches on the door, 2 inches on the side. The concrete, it's not just cement. It's a proprietary concrete composite that adds a lot of fire protection, adds a lot of security, and it destroys saw blades. Now, I've got a video where I'm doing a comparison between this safe and a traditional gun safe. It's on our YouTube channel. And on that safe, I take a saw and I basically cut the traditional safe just right down it in seconds. I put the saw to this safe that cuts in the back. And the minute the saw blade gets into that concrete composite, it destroys it. If you try to take an angle grinder or any kind of carbide or diamond wheel, it's same thing. It just fouls it or destroys it. All right, Steve, let's get this thing opened up. Now, there's a beast, and the weight of this door, it's when you actually open it, it's pretty darn impressive. They're 1-inch hardened steel bolts. I've got on all sides, top and on the back. Some of our competitors they show these great big 2-inch bolts. But if you take the safe apart or unscrew them, it's hollow. It's 16 gauge steel tubing that's been domed or capped and chromed. And it's just lightweight steel bent into a great big bolt. These are 1-inch hardened steel solid bolts, and you've got all the concrete. So you've got a safe that's going to be ridiculously difficult to pry open. I'm not sure you even could. Let's talk about the interior now. This is a vault for your home. It is not a fast access safe. So Stephen, you want to talk about the rifle rods a little bit?
They're from a company that we've worked for in the past, Gun Storage Solutions. One of the things we like about them is that they think out of the box. Everybody does the wavy board that doesn't really fit your rifles. These guys are going for maximum storage in the safe, where we go for ease of getting them in and out and more accessibility. So we're at one end of the spectrum, they're at the other. That's one of the reasons we like them, is because they do think out of the box, kind of like we do. It's
a really good company, and they provide rods to us. We sell them. They're not expensive. So now I've got the safe set up with 4 rifles on CradleGrid, and I've got a lot of shelving. We consider this, again, it's like a vault for your home. So I'm looking at valuables, and then some of my most valuable rifles into this safe. This is the vault for your most valuable items. The CradleGrid system will hold up to 8 rifles, but then if you remove all the shelves and everything using just the rod system and using modern firearms, you're going to get anywhere from 18 to 22 guns. If you've got just shotguns, you might get a few more than that. But we decked it out. Most of the guns that we have pretty good optics on them, and you're in that 18 to 20 range max capacity. We just did that because of what this safe is and how people are going to use it. This is different than everything else we do is fast access. This is not. All right, guys, let me just do a quick demonstration of what a filled safe is.
I was gonna ask where the mallet was.
So this is a 5-pound lead shot filled. It's a dead blow hammer, so it's got the weight in it, but it's a heavy hammer. But in my comparison with the Liberty safe, we dented the hell out of that. So we hit that safe and it was just beat up. Now, this might mar the finish, but
I was gonna say do it on the side,
like,
but there's no ring to it.
there's nothing. I mean, this thing is 1,300 pounds of steel and concrete, and it is brutally strong. It is a true safe. If you want true fire protection, this is what it takes. Using single layer steel with drywall and carpet, it's BS. I did post a video about 3 weeks ago in detail on fire range. Go to our YouTube channel. It should be right there on top. I do also want to point out I'm very critical of the gun safe industry. Anybody who follows me know that. Filled safes, AMSEC, American SecureIt, their BF series of gun safes is also a double-walled filled safe. And as far as safes go, it's a really good safe. I could say nothing bad about that safe. They did their homework. They built a fantastic safe. I think our CradleGrid, our interior system, that level of flexibility is far superior to their traditional interior. But I'm not throwing everybody under the bus. But drywall, carpet, single layer of 12 or 11 gauge steel, that's not going to get you a fire rating. All right, guys, we're going to jump back to the table and finish up the show. The way we're doing this now, when you buy a true safe, the price includes shipping, delivery to your home, and professional installation. As a 1,300-pound safe, we do not do curbside delivery. We do not want customers trying to move these safes. They're just too heavy. So the safe will arrive. You'll receive a phone call scheduling the install. Installers will meet the truck at your house and take care of everything. They're going to bring it in, they're going to set it where you want it, make sure everything is safe, and then they'll remove all packaging materials. It's a really good service, and we can do this almost anywhere in the country. There's some really rural areas that we may struggle to get a crew into, but for the most part, I think we've got the whole U.S. covered. Other things I want to talk about, we're seeing RFID safes coming into the consumer market.
With the little tags, it almost looks like something you get for the gas station for your Shoppers Club card for it.
That is RFID. It is the same. Just so everybody knows, in 2012, the U.S. Army did an in-depth look at RFID. We got involved in 3 large projects, and I worked with the actual tag manufacturers, software engineers, and some other developers to really design an armory using RFID, not just for access control, but for asset tracking. We were putting the little button tags, little RFID tags, right into the rifle. So we were going right in with gun manufacturers looking at how to do that so that a gun, when it was removed from the rack, a scanner would scan it out of the rack. And then when they issued it through the issue port, it would scan it and match it to a soldier whose ID has RFID on it. So the whole thing was basically marrying a soldier to a gun. They go train, they come back, it disconnects and goes back into the rack. We spent 3 years on this project with a lot of other companies. I learned a lot. I mean, we learned a lot about RFID. Ultimately, the military moved away from it. They did not implement it. They don't say why, but being that close to the project, the level of complexity that they were adding to their armories, there was no offsetting change in unit efficiency. It wasn't making a difference. It sounded so good. Guys, I'm going to be posting a video, and I'm calling a company out specifically. It's a pretty hard-hitting video. The problem with RFID, I'll go over it briefly. In the RFID video, I go over it in a lot more detail, but you're introducing key controls into your home. Most civilians don't know what key controls are. And what I mean is, when you buy one of these safes, you're going to get 5 or 6 tags for your car keys, little tag to stick on your phone, maybe a wristband, maybe a thing for your, all these little tags that you put on things, so you wave it in front of the safe, it opens the safe. The problem now is you've got 5 things that can open your safe. You've got 5 things that will grant anybody access to your safe. So if you've got them on your keys, if you've got one attached to your phone, if you got one, I don't know where else you're going to put them on a credit card. Anybody who comes into your home, if they get your car keys, the little tag, most of them, they have the logo of the safe on the tag. They know you've got a safe, and they now can open it. If you've got kids in a house, kids aren't stupid and they're very curious. If they see you open a safe with an RFID tag, they're going to think that's really cool. And yes, they're going to know where your safes are. Yes, they're going to find these tags because they know where things are. They just figure stuff out. So you're introducing a lot of complexity and difficulty into your home. And at the end of the day, using an RFID tag to open a safe is a lot slower than just using the push-button combination. We're going to push hard to get RFID out of consumer gun safes. It's a flashy technology. It offers nothing in terms of speed or convenience, and it puts you at greater risk. All right, Steven, so what else is going on, like tech-wise? What are you seeing? What are people doing, reacting to?
Well, right now we have the new Agile 12 drawer out that seems to be really popular. It's you can put it underneath the Agile 52 or the 40, make a stack with it, and it just gives you a little extra storage for ammo. You know, if you want to keep your hunting knives away from the kids or anything, or just anything that you want locked up. So that's been really popular so far, and I have not gotten one yet, but I'm looking forward to getting one for myself. So that's one of the few products I haven't snagged for myself yet.
I have in my office. I've got some, but I have not brought one home yet. We just got them. So what we're doing with the whole Agile line, we're adding true modularities. A lot of manufacturers talk about modular gun safes. The Agile line is now modular. You've got, here we've got a 52. You can't see it. I've got a drawer unit below me and the ammo storage above. The drawer, how deep is it? How high is it? 12 inches?
The drawer is 12 inches.
The ammo's 14.
Yeah, the 14. And then,
so what it gives you is a pull-out drawer underneath the Agile for ammo or any other gear you want to store. And it really, as you build out a wall of Agile cabinets, it just gives you a ton of flexibility to organize and store all of your guns and gear. Last thing we'll talk about is Marine Corps. We are now back involved with some pretty large projects with Marine Corps. We did Okinawa 3 years ago. It was an $8 million project. It was the largest armory build probably in the last 15 years, 20 years, I meant 10, 15 years. It was a big project. And it took a long time. COVID hit. It was difficult to complete because of the travel restrictions. And we had a pretty big crew involved on that. But the solution we did there was pretty unique. We're going to create a video on that for the consumer market to see what I like to give people a better idea of what we do. It's hard to get cameras into these armories, security requirements. However, with this project, we were allowed to shoot some video and create some content. But that solution, it's a buzz right now. So we've got another group in Okinawa is implementing the solution, and then we're looking at rolling this out Marine Corps wide, which will be that'll be a large, about a 5 to 7 year contract. To rebuild all their armories. But it's exciting. I mean, there's just a lot of cool stuff happening. All right, guys, we covered a lot. We're going to wrap this up. This video posts in a couple of days. And stay tuned for the RFID video. It's information people need to know. And then I'm going to be shooting another video doing a comparison between a Liberty Freedom Series 36 gun safe and our Answer 12, just showing what it takes to put 12 guns into each safe. That'll be shot later this week and posted next week. All right, guys, be safe out there, and we'll be back in about 2 weeks.